sir. We're back with another edition of Fast Break Bets presented by BettingPros. You know me, you know the voice, you know the guy. It's me, really real, villain real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. All right. Very good day. Very good day. I mean, I love when a plan what 18 classic 18 reference here. I love it when a plan comes together because that's exactly what happened for the most part. We didn't get the Rockers and Warriors first half. They actually came out firing in that first half, and it squeaked over, but completely died. I mean, that's where totals go to die in the second half. Total died in the second half. Ended up didn't even getting to 216, as I said. It didn't get to 220, and if you stayed on this play over the course of the day, it was all the way up to 224 and a half when Draymond, Jimmy Butler, and Steph were all ruled in. Still went way under. So, I mean, wherever you got this number, we were good money there. And then the same thing, but inverse for the Dallas Mavericks. Everybody got ruled out. Kyrie, Clay, I mean, everybody. The whole roster was ruled out. But guess what? Those Miami Heat do what they always do as a favorite. Fold. Dallas Mavericks get over 110 and a half. I got the worst of the number. This was down all the way to 106, I believe. 106 and a half, all the way down to 106 and a half. And looky here. I mean, love it when a plan comes together. Love it when a plan comes together. Very good day there in Fast Break Bets. So very happy of that. Needed that. And that gives me confidence coming out of the All-Star break. I feel like one of those players that's been stumbling into the All-Star break. You get to that last game, you have a really big game, and you like, all right, bet when I come back from the break, I'm gonna start firing. So I feel confident. That gave me some confidence. Let's talk about Unrivaled, and let's talk about the NBA All-Star weekend, a couple of things that I have going on. I'll probably add some more things over the weekend. I didn't add any three-point contests, so I'm not going to talk about that in this episode. We'll probably do that over the weekend, but I definitely have some All-Star bets I want to give out to you. I almost got there in college basketball. I was really, really looking at UCLA to come back, fading Indiana off of that huge win against Michigan State and looking to back UCLA coming off a loss. But I just couldn't get there. I couldn't get there with the Bruins. So very, very close to adding a college basketball play there, but I didn't end up doing that. All right. Before we talk about all that, though, I got to remind you, this is the last day. I've been telling you all week, this is the last day. Go get you an Alonzo Mourning signed jersey. This is your opportunity to get into the contest. Subscribe to Betting Pros YouTube channel. Comment on any Fast Break Bets video, and you will have a chance to win that Alonzo Mourning signed jersey. So make sure you do that over there at Fast Break Bets in the Betting Pros YouTube. Comment on any video, and you will have a chance. You can do it right now and just go ahead and get your entry. You have to do it today because this is the last day. On Monday, I will be announcing the winner of this contest. All right, so because it's a basketball betting show, I got to bet basketball. And I'm telling you, I have an edge. I feel good about Unrivaled. We are going to Unrivaled, and it has been the one-on-one tournament that has been going on. I've had fun watching it. If you haven't watched it, it really doesn't take long. Like you can catch some of the videos on Twitter. You can rewatch them over there on YouTube. Like it's really, really a good opportunity to like go see some quality one-on-one hoops if you haven't been watching this live. But I've been catching a lot of the tournament, and I feel good saying that I'm very, very confused. And obviously the odds makers are not watching the tournament because there's no way Aaliyah Edwards should be plus money against Arike Ogunbowale in this tournament. Yes, Arike can shoot the ball from anywhere. It's a make it take it tournament, by the way, if you don't know. Yes, Arike can shoot the ball from anywhere. She can't defend. And the size matchup that Aaliyah Edwards has over her, it hasn't fared well for many people, many people over the tournament. There are so many talented hoopers that it was too much size for them. They couldn't be able to go and get the win. Arike got the win against Satu last time out, who actually plays a little bit more like a guard than a big. So it it wasn't surprising that Arike was able to get Satu to play her game and she was able to get the win there. But that's not happening with Aaliyah Edwards. Aaliyah Edwards is going to play this like a big. You saw how she dominated Brianna Stewart. If you have it, go back and watch how she was able to dominate Brianna Stewart and she blanked her. I think that there's a possibility that when Aaliyah Edwards gets the ball, she might not give it back up and she might just run the gauntlet on Arike because there's nothing Arike is going to be able to do to stop her. Whereas I think that Aaliyah actually can guard on the perimeter, kind of challenge those step back shots from Arike Ogunbowale and be able to contest her if she drives to the rim. So I am just confused. I understand that Arike is quote unquote the higher seed. Aaliyah Edwards has the matchup is a matchup nightmare for Arike in this one-on-one tournament right now. I have no idea why she's plus money. I think she should be the favorite. And I feel really, really good about betting Aaliyah Edwards at plus money to win against Arike Ogunbowale. I probably should have money on Napheesa Collier minus 105 to win the tournament. I feel like I just kind of missed the juice there, not betting that earlier. But if you would like to go play that, I'm not giving that out officially, but I just, even if this goes the way I think it does, I don't think Aaliyah Edwards is gonna beat Napheesa Collier. And even if I'm wrong, I definitely don't think Arike is going to be able to beat Napheesa Collier. So I think Napheesa Collier is going to walk into this 200K in this tournament. But all right, that's Unrivaled. Let's talk about Rising Stars. So we have this Rising Stars tournament. This is the second time they're doing it. I think this is only the second time they're doing. But last year, you had the G League team upset one of the favorites to win the tournament last year, and Team Paul Gasol, and then Team Jalen got the win in the championship game. Now with the Warriors, you have a whole bunch of Mitch Richmond as an honorary coach, Jeremy Lin, you got Tim Hardaway Jr., Chris Mullins, and if you're looking at these teams, I think I've settled on I really, really like the Chris Mullins team. Now, Mitch Mitch Richmond's team is the favorite for good reason. When you hear the roster, and you probably already know it, but when you hear the roster, it's a really, really solid defensive roster that he has going on there with a lot of the 3 and D long athletic wings that we talk about over the course of the season. Tamani Camera, Bilal Coulibaly, All-Star Thompson, Amon Thompson. So understand why they're the favorite. Missy is a really, really good big in his first year. Bub Carrington has been a great point guard for the Wizards, and he probably had, looking to get some get back in this game. So I understand why Mitch Richmond's team is favorite. However, coming in at the second odds is Chris Mullins' team. By the way, Chris Mullin is the only one of these honorary coaches that actually coached on a high level of basketball. He coached that St. John's team 2015 to 2019. And actually, Mitch Richmond was on his staff for those times. So those two were working together, but Chris Mullin was the coach of the team there. So I think that kind of plays into it a little bit. I was like, hey, he's the only coach. That kind of plays into my angle. So I like that. And you got to have fun with all-star bets. You're not going into all-star bets trying to go out here and make some crazy amount of money. Like, you're really just doing this because it's fun. People don't bet it because they don't, like, a lot of sharps don't bet it because they really don't have an edge. But it's just fun. Like, betting should be fun. You should be able to bet on stuff. You shouldn't have to be able to have like this big sharp edge to go try to bet on stuff. Just bet on it because it's fun. Like, it's a pastime hobby. Like, so the All-Star game is fun. The All-Star weekend is fun. It's not as fun to watch when you don't have bets on it. So if I'm gonna watch it, I would rather have like some little bit of action going just in case I hit something. And so that's why I'm betting Rising Stars here. And I'm betting Team Chris Mullins because I look at this team. And not only do I think that they're pretty solid defensively as well, with Ryan Dunn, you got a nice front court in Trace Jackson Davis and Zach Edey that provides some rim protection and some rebounding. And then you got Jalen Wells, who has been an excellent defender for Memphis over the course of this year. Stephon Castle's been a really good defender. And then you got good scoring options in all of these guys as well. In addition, you got Keontae George, Dalton Knecht. Like, I think that team Chris Mullin and the head coaching experience, adding on to the fact that if this gets into a shootout, in these games, especially in the last game, because the last game is only up to 25 points. The first round is 40, the second round is 25. So you got to be solid. You got to be solid defensively, and then it's just going to be, guys making a play, having fun. And so I could see somebody like Keontae George going out there and having a really, really good Rising Stars tournament and potentially taking home MVP. I could see Dalton Connect with everything going on around him, and he just catches fire during a tournament like this, especially from three, and maybe he wins MVP. So I see a lot of options. I think typically the fun team that is also sound typically gets it done. Not really interested in Tim Hardaway Jr.'s team. And I think that that's the team that people are probably going to headhunt because you got uh what's my boy, the first round pick and the second round pick in Sar and Researcher, uh or Reese Shea. I'm sorry, Reese Shea. And so you got those two guys. So maybe they're looking at top one, top two picks, like, all right, we're trying to give it to that team. Also, Grady Dick's up there too, who's been a starter for pretty good majority of his career now. Not just taking advantage of injuries and everything in front of him and averaging 15 points per game. And then they also have Brandon Pazimski, who is also starter. So I think I'm not really interested in the Tim Hardaway Jr. team. Probably a team that people look at like, hey, they should probably be really, really good. And I can see it, but I could also see them kind of getting upset, like how Team Powell got upset last year. So I think I'm sticking to Team Chris Mullin here. I really like this team with Keontae George, Stephon Castle. So I'm gonna go with that team plus 230. That way I'm not all the way chalk. I'm not all the way in the dog range. I feel like that is a nice bet that I can hit there for the Rising Stars game. And then let me just go ahead and talk about my All Star MVP for the actual All Star game, which is it has another horrible, terrible tournament format that I am not a fond of. One, because the scoring is going to be way, way down. I mean, we're used to. I don't know. I mean, do you want a high scoring All Star game or do you want a low scoring All Star game? Because All Star games typically have had 300 plus points in the past. This one is going to have three games with a target score of 40 points, and that's it. Cat had 50 by himself in the All Star game last year. So it just feels like it's so much room for parity with All Star MVP. Like, you have to play in the second game to win MVP. There's no way anybody can play in the first game, not win, and win MVP. So you got to play in the second game. It's got to be a part of the winning team. And so that automatically X's out any opportunity for the Rising Stars champion because I just don't think that they're going to get into the final game and win. I I could see Shaq's old man team of him taking all of the the OGs as they called it here. Let me see here. So you look at Shaq's OGs and he's got LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, James Harden, Jaylen Brown. I could see that team getting to the finals and potentially winning, especially because they have a first round matchup with the Rising Stars team. So if I see that team getting there, who do I think wins MVP from that team? Well, all of those players actually have an all star MVP except two. Jaylen Brown, who was actually pretty close to getting it last year, but Dame edged him out. And Jaylen Brown sitting there at what's JB's odds again? 30-1. And James Harden, who actually has no I didn't even believe it. I had to go back and check. But yeah, James Harden has no all-star MVP. He actually hasn't been in the game since 2020. So I think this is a very good opportunity for James Harden that says, hey, I don't have any opportunities left. And maybe he has a crazy 2 games. This all-star format is just so stupid. But I mean, I just think it opens up parity for MVP this year because you don't have much. It doesn't take much. You could go out there and hit five threes, and you're probably going to win MVP because you got 21 of your 40 potential points. Or you got well, I did that math wrong, but that's seven threes. But basically, 5 to 7 threes, you're there. Like you're basically halfway there, and you have a good majority of your points. Five threes, couple of twos, all that, and you probably have half of your team points right there. So it could be super duper easy for one person just have like 20 points, and now they are the MVP because they had half of their team points, and everybody else split or something like that. This is really weird. This is really stupid, but that's why I'm doing it because hey, it just opens up the door for parity. A lot of people think it's going to be Steph because it's in Golden State. I'm not really into the home team angle with this. I don't think that it's going to be Steph. I could see Steph kind of not really playing or deferring a little bit more, or just getting like his one really big moment for Golden State, and then that's really it. So I like from Team Shaq, James Harden and Jaylen Brown, just for the prices, 30 to 1 and 50 to 1. I think those are pretty good. I don't think Team Kenny is going to win, only because they running up to against Team Chuck, and Team Chuck is just absolutely insane, where they could potentially have a lineup of Giannis, Victor Wembanyama, Karl Anthony Towns, and Jokic on the floor at the same time. I mean, Chuck just went and grabbed all these bigs. He's got Alperen Sengun as well, Pascal Siakam. His only two guards are SGA and Donovan Mitchell. So from that team, if I like Team Chuck to win, Victor Wembanyama, of course, 9 to 1. I mean, it seems like they're just like, hey, yeah, kid, go have an amazing All Star game. Continue to lob him the ball. He probably gets some really nice blocks on the defensive end, outlet passes, and he looks like this big young star. And he begins his rise to stardom with an All Star MVP. I could see that happening. So, yeah, okay, I'll bite the bullet and take Wemby at 9 to 1 on MVP there. And for my second pick, I believe no, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Just those three. I don't have another one. That oh no, yeah, give me Cat. Let's go with Cat because Cat had 50 last time. Like last time he had 50 and a loss, and he should have probably been MVP. Like Cat really, really probably should have won MVP that last year, but because they lost, he didn't get it. But Cat was going crazy, and he had 50 points in that last All-Star game. So I'm selling myself on Cat getting it done. And so those are the plays. Just very, very fun episode of Fast Break Bets here. Please don't do anything crazy if you're going to play some of this stuff. I promise you, I'm not playing anything crazy. Like through all of these bets, it might be a unit and a half that is in play here. Like, there's not going to be a lot of action in here at all. It's just nice little fun sprinkles. And these are some fun plus money plays that I could actually get a nice little bread. Like, if this James Harden MVP hit plays, what? That's going to be an amazing little nice little cash. And I could see an angle of James Harden his last All-Star game, he went 7 for 13 from 3. So if he could just goes out there and hit 7 threes again, like he's All-Star MVP in the game. So I could see something like that happening, and maybe him getting a 2 game stretch going, or somebody like that, Jaylen Brown getting his first MVP. So that's what I'm doing. Those are the plays I'm making on this episode of Fast Break Bets. Aaliyah Edwards, even money over Arike Ogunbowale, team Chris Mullins plus 230, and then the All-Star MVP sprinkle with Wemby, Cat, Jaylen Brown, and James Harden. All right. That's it. Give me a follow at really real underscore on X, and also, Betting Pros on X and TikTok, Betting Pros NFL on Instagram, youtube.com/Betting Pros. Make sure you leave that comment so you have a chance to win that Alonzo Mourning signed jersey as well. All right. That's it for me. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to like this. We are out of here.